Do you feel better on vacation and then crash as soon as you get home? Mold exposure is often invisible, and the research isn't nearly as black and white as the online forums make it seem sometimes. When you see how the mold and mycotoxin exposure clues actually connect, the real picture starts to look different and approachable. I'm Dr. Kenny, root cause health detective and IFM certified functional medicine practitioner, and I decode these exact environmental and biological communication breakdowns every day. In the next few minutes, you'll understand what's real in the research and also the calm decision-making path that I use before any mycotoxin testing with patients. And if this resonates, share it or tap the like button. Help this message meet other people who receive mixed information around mystery mold symptoms. So let's get clear on what we're really talking about here. First, you've got mold spores. These are the reproductive particles that are floating through the air, and your immune system recognizes them as invaders. Then there's what's called VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. These create that classic musty smell in the air associated with mold. And finally, you have mycotoxins. These are the toxic metabolites, or byproducts that certain mold species actually release when they're stressed or they're competing for territory. I hear a lot of the fear-based rhetoric, and some people stop at "I saw mold on my ceiling" and assume that's the whole story. But the truth is, it's a much bigger issue when we talk about chronic moisture plus your individual susceptibility. This is why one person in the same household can have such a different experience when mold is present. Let's think about mycotoxins like alcohol. One drink may not bother a person, some it might, but steady exposure over time, that's where you feel it across entire systems that go offline. Mold toxicity is very much the same way. And research shows that even dampness without visible mold being present can trigger inflammation in susceptible individuals. That means sometimes your body is reacting to something that you can't even see yet. We're all exposed to tiny amounts of mold and mycotoxins in everyday experiences and foods, from coffee and grains to the air that we breathe. Humans have evolved with a very intricate relationship with mold on a larger scale. This is expected. The problem is concentrated, prolonged exposure. Inside of a water-damaged building, for instance, is where your immune system never gets a break. And by the way, if you want to see some of the research that I've used for this video, I've put together a simple research summary that breaks down some easy to digest and actionable insights about the research used here. The link is in the pinned comment and the description below. This is the exact thinking path that I use with patients so that we can better understand symptoms, timeline, without as much fear. The environmental signal. Mold and mycotoxin exposure all starts with environment. Slow plumbing leak that nobody notices, it could be roof repair done halfway, or a bathroom without proper ventilation is quite common. These situations are often laden with microscopic particles that your innate immune system interprets as danger. And for layer number one, if you're to start with any testing at all, current guidelines suggest that you should test your space first, not your body. If you do it in the opposite order, it's like trying to diagnose smoke inhalation before confirming whether or not there's even a fire present. Layer number two after environment is the host response, or the sensitivity amplifier, as I like to call it. This is why one person in the home feels awful while the other feels completely fine. And this can be quite the sore spot for people living with mold illness. This reality is based in genetic variation, especially the HLA genes, and they make some people more reactive. And if you already have asthma, MCAS, or autoimmune tendencies, or a pre-primed immune system in general, your responses can become louder. Research shows that mycotoxins directly activate mast cells, the same ones that are involved in histamine reactivity, or MCAS. And symptoms of mold illness can be hard to trace. They can range from mental, emotional to body aches and pains. Just know it's not all in your head. Your biology is recognizing a pattern and it's trying to react and trying to protect you. And layer number three to consider is the downstream systems that are affected by mold illness. This is where mold becomes a multi-system disruptor and further amplifies how mysterious symptoms can seem. First of all, your neuroendocrine system, or the way your nervous system and hormones coordinate everything, can be off. Sleep can become affected and unpredictable. It can also present like anxiety or depression. And mycotoxins can cause your mitochondria, your little cellular engines, to stall. Research shows that mold toxins like ochratoxin A can interfere with mitochondrial ATP production and create oxidative stress in the cells. That's the biology behind a common symptom of people hitting energetic roadblocks where they've slept well, technically for 8, even 10 hours, but still feel empty. By the way, if you find these breakdowns and connecting the dots in a calm and research-informed way, make sure to hit subscribe. I put out regular content just like this. So those are the 3 main layers to consider. Next is most people investigate mold backwards. They start with the expensive tests and skip the basics. So let's go in the right order here. Step 1 is the environment first. Before anything else, check your spaces. Grab a flashlight, look under sinks, behind toilets, around windows. You can also map moisture content with a simple meter. Ideally, you're shooting for humidity under 50%. Use a HEPA air purifier when you sleep or throughout your day in your household, and most importantly, fix your water sources. Starting with a visual inspection with the flashlight beats most of the $400 tests right at the beginning. The next step is look at your life story. The best screening tool that we have is your history. Your symptoms in context are incredibly revealing of information. If you experience stubborn symptoms and you feel noticeably better on vacation and then crash again when you walk through the door or within a few days, that fluctuation is a powerful clue. I remember a patient telling me that they felt the shift as soon as they re-entered their garage from vacation. And that's not dramatic, that's data and a clue. And step 3 is to use lab testing. A urine mycotoxin test can be very useful, but they cannot diagnose mold illness on their own because multiple factors can influence their results. Your diet, your hydration, sweating, sauna use, and even supplements can influence the results quite directly. If you do test, pair it with other functional markers of inflammation or mitochondrial stress and detox function, like organic acids testing or checking your glutathione levels at large. This is how you can see the whole picture of potential mold illness rather than chasing isolated numbers on a single test. And by the way, if you live in Texas, California, or Florida, where I do see a lot of mold, and you want my eyes on your case, feel free to book a health mystery map call. There's a link in the description below. And here's where you get an opportunity to maybe breathe a sigh of relief, is that the steps are not extreme when dealing with mold illness necessarily. Step 1 is to reduce the exposure stress. Open your windows daily if you need to, use an air purifier, fix leaks as immediately as possible, and improve airflow in rooms in general. This will help to lessen that constant whisper of danger that your immune system is experiencing. Number 2 is to support your natural detox capacity. This isn't about forcing detox or doing any trendy cleanse. Your body already knows how to do this for the most part. It just needs resources. Hydration is key. Make sure that you're drinking enough until your urine is lightly colored or straw colored. Shooting for at least 30 grams of fiber a day is a really great starting point too, because it can help bind to any mycotoxins and eliminate them properly. Having a daily or up to 3 times daily bowel movement is also an important process here. Movement for lymphatic drainage also is something that you can encourage, especially through light exercise, static poses, twisting poses, for instance, that move the lymphatic system. Cruciferous vegetables and algae can also be important tools to incorporate into your diet. And then step 3 is to also support the foundation. Your mitochondria, which can be dramatically affected by mold toxins, need specific nutrients to be supported. Vitamin C, E, selenium, magnesium, and focus on your circadian rhythm as well. Morning sunlight and no bright screens at night. Just know that when it comes to mold and mycotoxins, your body's communicating through sensitivity. And once we do create a safe environment, everything downstream can become more understandable, more predictable, and more treatable. So before jumping into binders or complex detox protocols, start with the simplest question. Is my environment still talking to my immune system and sending signals of danger or safety. And if you want to dive deeper into the way that mold affects mitochondria, check out this video where we go over just that. I'm Dr. Kenny, Root Cause Health Detective. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.